Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Fired up. Arrows fired up. I heard you all the way next street. Waking up the neighborhood. Yeah, that's perfect. Just see. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janava Girivaratari. Gopi Janava Girivaratari. Yashodanandana Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavada Girivaratari. Yashodanandana Yashodanandana Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhavasta Saki Panchatattva Pranam Lakshmi Shri Bhagavan Anantadeva Ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashta Prahesva Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Utamashloke Bhakti Bhavatir Naistiki. Before reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Narayana and Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasdev, the author. By regular attendance in classes on Bhagavatam, and by regular service to spirit devotee, all the struggles of the heart, almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, whose praise and transcendental songs establish an irrevocable fact. Hare Krishna. Do you recognize this photo, this painting? Yeah. These are like previews when you go. These are like previews when you go to movies. What's coming up? Oh. Who is it? Alex, who is it? Kapila Deva and Deva. No, yeah, Devahuti is. Yeah. No. Yeah, they're both there. He's instructing his mother after Kardama retires. As the life goes, there's retirement, pulling back, and preparing for the transition from this world to the next. It's very important. There's 4 stages in life: student life, family life, retired life, and fully retired life. So here in this, which is coming attractions, Kapila Dev, after Kardama leaves, he leaves behind not vacancy, not irresponsibility. Yeah, there you go. He leaves behind a wonderful son, nonetheless, that Supreme Personality of Godhead that will take care of what's left behind. In this case, Kardama's wife, Kapila's mother, Devahuti, and beautiful instructions that will unfold in coming chapters. So hang in there. Today we're going to cover how one ends up with a progeny, with a son like that. The son might not be a Supreme Personality of Godhead, but it'll be a good progeny that that it's actually the very purpose of prajna is to liberate those who are the family, those who have brought them to the world. So we'll see what it takes. It's not usually the progeny these days is just a result of
accident.
an accident of a Friday night with a whiskey bottle. Did you know that every Wednesday, all the girls, they drink for free, midtown. And then every Friday, all the girls, they drink for free, downtown. So what does that mean? When the girls drink for free, what happens? All the boys, they heard, they hear. So they rush there. Very, very, very compromised situation, to say at least. Very much so compromised. So what kind of progeny would you expect?
Unwanted.
It's unwanted. Was there intention for any good progeny? It's very much so self-centered, short-term gratifications. Nothing comes good. So here we'll see what it takes. How did Kardama, I think we're going to cover the duties of a husband because we saw the glorious preparation of a wife, a future mother. She went through a whole ordeal, very austere. Now, nothing, Shruti said, nothing valuable in this world comes cheap, comes quick, although we are accustomed, fast food, fast success, fast cars, same day delivery, and fast disappointment. Because it's very promising. All those things are very promising, but they don't really deliver in terms of deep satisfaction, content. So we'll cover what it takes from a husband point of view. Where Kardama was standing, although he's already done it too. How many years? 10,000 years on the bank of River Saraswati. Even Lord Vishnu himself has appeared.
What exactly was his
Tapasya.
What was he doing?
Controlling the senses and fixing his mind on the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Shravanam Kirtana Vishnoho Smaranam Padasevanam. You know the 9 processes of devotional service? What is the final one? Atma Nivedanam. Surrendering everything. Yeah, so that is tapasya. And then within Shravanam Kirtana Vishnoho Smaranam Padasevanam, and the what's Padasevanam? What is that? How's that different from Archanam? Because in Archanam we also. Padasevanam refers to any kind of devotional service, right? So on the Padasevanam you might find Kukanam, Scrubbanam, Suwipanam. There's all these things. It's there. Don't think, oh, where's this fit? What I'm doing, is that really bona fide? Yes. Scoopanam, halavanam. Yeah, the dressing, bottlenum, clinanum. It's all part of it, guys. Don't even remotely think this is separate. You also Vokanam on Taimanam or Mangal Arti. Is also it's all part of it. It always should be performed. The point is everything we do is always should be performed for the pleasure of Krishna and Krishna's devotees. Then it's yoga. Otherwise, you're doing something and you don't know what you're doing. So when you look from outside, it looks very funny. If you look at anybody who's doing something and they don't know what they're doing, it looks funny. So we shouldn't look funny. It shouldn't be a circus. Yes.
Is it tapasya if it's blissful? Like, is it more tapasya if you're like having to like sacrifice and grind versus if it's really enjoyable?
It will be blissful when there is devotion. And there will be a grind and suffering when there is no devotion. I always give that example of a mother. When a mother changes those diapers, she's like experiencing like most fragrant flowers. And when somebody else goes there, they go like, oh my God. They can't bear it for mom. But for mother, it's like psychosomatic transformation that they feel like and perceive and they experience very different. Why? Because it's mother's love. So we also will be in a grind, but that could be a sign that we're missing out on something. Because it's susukam kartum avyayam. It's very joyfully performed. Everything should be joyfully performed. All right, let's save those questions for later so we can move on and take a closer look on a boy's side. Man's side. We are at the section, what is the section? Between what?
This is text 12, and
Well-
we're going to be all the way till text 35.
Ooh, yeah, a lot of verses, 12 to 35. Ready? I'll start. Maitreya continued, O Vidura, seeking to please his beloved wife, the sage Kardama exercised his yogic power and instantly produced an aerial mansion that could travel at his will. Yeah. Romance about to unfold.
It was a wonderful structure, bedecked with all sorts of jewels, adorned with pillars of precious stones, and capable of building whatever one desired. It was equipped with every form of furniture and wealth, which tended to increase in the course of time.
This is one of the greatest mystical feats that you can find in Bhagavatam. All out of his mind. He came out of Brahma's mind. His Manas Putra is the progeny that came from Brahma, out of Brahma's mind. Kardama is. And he's like this original engineer that can just produce out of his mind. Kardama means mud, or one who is able to manifest things out of elements, is an engineer. But it's a very advanced technology. This is the creation within you can call it like a third tier. This is a primary, sarga, visarga, and this is another creation within the creation. Because he was fully equipped. There were parks, lakes, palatial buildings, everything just like a floating, what do you call that in Star Wars?
What? Space station?
The Death Star. But yeah, this is a Death Star, but on a bright spectrum. If you can imagine the Death Star on a bright spectrum, had everything. It was completely self-sufficient, and not even mechanically propulsed. It was all through it was moved and controlled by prana, by life air. Very high technology, if you can imagine. Nothing mechanical about it, nothing low class. Everything super fine. That we can think technology is kind of dreaming about, but we're not there yet. Not in these kind of ways. We have to purify consciousness. That's once that becomes apparent, then there are other technologies. Okay, sorry.
The castle was fully equipped with all necessary functionality and was pleasing in all seasons. It was decorated all around with flags, festoons, an artistic work of variegated colors. It was further embellished with wreaths of charming flowers, There attracted sweetly humming bees, and with tapestries of linen, silver, and various other fabrics.
Okay, so please meditate. You're now being granted the access to such a place. So listen attentively and just try to imagine in the eye of your mind how wonderful this creation is.
The palace was shrine with beds, couches, fans, and seats all separately arranged in 7 stories.
7-story, guys, 7-story. It's more than the zoning allows here. Zoning only allows here 5-story. Actually, I think that building across is about 7. So you can imagine that parking building. It's about that size. Powerful.
Its beauty was enhanced by the artistic engravings here and there on the walls. The floor was of emerald with coral daisies.
The palace was
And please
very-
notice that there was no concrete. Yeah. Or maybe there was. Yeah. No concrete and no shipping containers. I don't think Cardamom, that was his choice of material. Rather, it was emeralds and precious stones. Can imagine.
The palace was very beautiful, with its coral thresholds at the entrances and its doors bedecked with diamonds. Gold pinnacles crowned its domes of sapphire.
The choicest rubies set its diamond walls. It appeared as though it possessed of eyes. It was furnished with wonderful canopies and greatly valuable gates of gold.
Here and there in that palace were multitudes of live swans and pigeons, as well as artificial swans and pigeons, so lifelike that the real swans rose above them again and again, thinking them live birds like themselves. Thus the palace vibrated with the sounds of these birds.
The castle had pleasure grounds, resting chambers, bedrooms, and inner and outer yards designed with an eye to comfort. Almost caused astonishment to the sage himself.
When he saw Devahuti looking at the gigantic opulent palace with a displeased heart, Karnamani could understand her feeling because he could study the heart of anyone. Thus, he personally addressed his wife as follows.
It's one of the mystic cities that the yogis can develop is to understand the mind of others.
My dear Devahuti, you look very much afraid.
Hold on. He is, I'll tell you the name of that city. It's called Antardrishti. It's one of the 8 mystic cities. Antardrishti is ability to read the heart, ability to read someone's heart. He could precisely perceive Devahuti's unspoken desires. He could perceive her suffering. He could perceive her fatigue and her longing for marital affection.
What is it called? The city?
Antardrishti. This comes from this kind of superpower, you can say, comes from compassion. If you have enough compassion for anybody, it's not really a power, it becomes what drives the transformation in terms of our ability to accommodate what we perceive. Because you can't really serve. Can you serve unless you recognize the need? Yeah, if somebody's thirsty and talking philosophy and bending their ears, they just want water. So we have to, in order to be able to serve, we have to recognize the need. What is the need of the hour? And that's the real deal, real service. It's according to the need. Okay, sorry, Hari, please.
My dear Devahuti, you look very much afraid. First they then laid Bindu Sarvara, created by Lord Vishnu himself, which can grant all the desires of a human being, and then mounts this airplane.
Notice I David Hithia accepted the order of her husband. But yeah, because of her dirty dress and the locks of matted hair on her head, she did not look very attractive.
Her body was coated with thick layer of earth, and her breasts were discolored. She dove, however, into the lake of contained the sacred waters of the sun.
In the house inside the lake, she saw 1,000 girls, all in the prime of youth and fragrant like lotuses.
Seeing her, the damsel suddenly rose and said with folded hands, "We are your maidservants. Tell us what we do."
So if there's any artist in a room, these are all beautiful things to depict. You can imagine and do so many artwork. Yes, just from this couple of verses, so much of artwork. I can see it. Can you see it? So many things, yes.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
The girls, being very respectful to Devahuti, brought her forth, and after bathing her with valuable oils and ointments, they gave her fine, new, spotless cloth and to cover her body.
Then they decorated her with very excellent and valuable jewels, which shone brightly. Next, they offered her food containing all good qualities and sweet, inebriating drink called asavam. Was there Krishna lunch somewhere there? Maybe. Asavam. It's a nice smoothie. The best smoothie, asavam. It's nice if you want to develop a brand smoothie, juice bar. It's like, very name that rings. Asavam. Let's go get some drink of asavam. Yeah, it's a tea table brand. Asavam. What's for drink today? Same as yesterday, asavam. Might as well give the name to that drink because it's just like orange. What's today? Orange. Pink lemonade. Pink lemonade. It sounds so scary. Asavan is so much nicer. Okay. Next.
And later she beheld her own reflection. Her body was completely free from all dirt, and she was adorned with a garland. Dressed in unsullied robes and decorated with auspicious marks of tilak, she was served very respectfully by the maids.
Her entire body, including her head, was completely bathed, and she was decorated all over with ornaments. She wore special necklaces with locket. There were bangles on her wrists and tinkling anklets of gold about her ankles.
About her hips, she wore a girdle of gold, set with numerous jewels, and she was further adorned with a precious pearl necklace and auspicious substances.
Her countenance shone with beautiful teeth and charming eyebrows. Her eyes, distinguished by lovely moist corners, defeated the beauty of lotus buds. Her face was surrounded by dark curling tresses.
When she thought of her great husband, the best of the sages, Radhamuni, who was very dear to her, she, along with all the maidservants, at once appeared where he was.
She was amazed to find herself surrounded by 1,000 maids in the presence of her husband and to witness his yogic power.
That's it? All right. Finally, they have mounted the chariot, or rather, palatial flying city. This is text 12. We're going to cover it today. Maitreya Vacha. Priyaya Priyam Anvichan. Priyaya Priyam Anvichan. Priyaya Priyam Anvicham. Kardamo Yogam Astitaha. Kardamo Yogam Astitaha. Kardamo Yogam Astitaha. Vimanam Kamagam Shata. Vimanam Kamagam Shata. Vimanam Kamagam Shata. Tarhyeva Virak Chikarat. Tarhyeva Virak Chikarat. Taryeva Virak Chikarat. Maitreya Uvacha. Priyaya Priyamandichan. Kardamo Yogam Astitaha. Vimanam Kama Gaksata. Taryeva Virak Chikarat.
Maitreya Vacha.
Maitreya Uvacha. Priyaya Priyam Anvichan. Anybody else? Okay, word by word all together. Sage Maitreya Uvacha said, Priyaya.
Yogam, yogic power, Astita, exercise, Vimanam, inner way, Kamagam, moving adalo, Shata, Oviduram, Tari, instantly, Eva, quite, Avira, Shikara, produce.
Translation. Maitreya continued, O Vidura, seeking to please his beloved wife, the sage Kardama exercises yogic power and instantly produced an aerial mansion that could travel at his will. Hare Krishna. Volunteers for purport? Okay, Shantanu, please.
Here the words yoga astitaha are significant. The sage Karma was completely perfect in yoga. As a result of real yoga practice, there are 8 kinds of perfection. Yogi can become smaller than the smallest, greater than the greatest, or lighter than the lightest. He can achieve anything he likes. He can create even a planet. He can establish influence over anyone, etc. In this way, yogic perfection is achieved. And after this, one can achieve the perfection of spiritual life. Thus, it was not very wonderful for Karma Muni to create a mansion in the air, according to his own desire, to fulfill the desire of his beloved wife. He at once created the palace, which is described in the following verses.
Mhm. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manabhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamaya Tarati Swapadantikam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Padipriye Pancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I have this list of cities that are available for those who are shopping for that. We have Manojava city, moving as fast as the mind. That's a speed of a yogi. It travels at the speed of a mind. So he could travel and create. So all of these are fully possessed by Kardama. He could travel and create, travel and or create structures with the speed of thought. Can imagine, which is how he later, or has just now generated this aerial palatial building. Another one is Icha Shakti, is manifesting objects through his will. This is one of his defining powers. He created a multi-level aerial palace. We heard 7 stories. Instantly, it wasn't like, he was under the contract for a year and a half. Had to dig out foundation. It was instantly, with gardens, lakes, servants, opulent rooms, as if in a dream. Which means entirely from the mental potency, he was able to create that. This is far beyond the modern conceptions. It reflects mastery on subtle elements. Another one is Lagu Siddhi, ability to manipulate subtle matter. So Kardama could rearrange matter into the new forms, create living quarters, landscapes, and even pools of water. Just as the Lord creates the universe from the subtle elements. Again, this is like a creation within the creation. Another one is Anima and Mahima. Like that, Prapti Siddhi, they can access anything they desire from far places. Are you interested in any of these?
This is before all the Marvel heroes.
Yeah, this is way before the Marvel Studios and what's the other one? DC, the superheroes. Yeah, this is where it's coming from. Prapti Siddhi, Vayu Gamana, you can fly through just simply by controlling prana. No mechanical propulsion required or needed. And Antar Drishti, reading the heart, was able to access. And here we see that the devotee was sad, but he took care of it. So, how he used his power not to dominate, but rather in service to his wife, we see the beginning of. He restored her health and beauty. And this is all based on the needs, basic needs that every wife has. He also created a celestial palace for her comfort. He didn't do it for himself. Actually, he didn't pick up this service of popular in the universe for himself. There was nothing about Cardamom that was like, oh yeah, it would be cool to do all this. No, it was all as a service, first to his father, Brahma, and then now as his service to his wife. The service was always in the center. That's the point. It was never self-centered or motivated out of the selfish inclinations or desires that he kind of secretly had or cultivated as a side. No, none of that. So another thing he did, he took Devahuti on a world tour. Says they took off, they traveled because the wife likes to be entertained. So what is the better entertainment than traveling the world and seeing places? He gave her the experience of heavenly pleasure. He protected her dignity and emotions. This is a big one. He never neglected her, really. He never criticized her austerities. Oh, look at you, so emancipated. Look at you, like this or like that. No. He showed tenderness, not domination. This is contrary to what we see today in a culture of, where I would say, it's the culture that suffers from yeah. Once we fix this one, I think the masculinity will find its proper place. We have to find ways to properly honor our mothers or the ladies. We live in a culture where every other word is like, very like spontaneously just rolling off our tongue with disrespecting the mothers. And I won't go into the details. This and that. It's a big problem. So once we properly restore that, everything else will fall in place because everything starts with the birth. So he protected her dignity and emotions. And that kind of sensitivity in itself, it's something that brings about auspiciousness and divine intervention, which will manifest in a form of Kapila. So after fulfilling her desires, he guided her towards spiritual life. So we'll see that. So what are the bottom line? What are the roles of a husband, and what are the expectations of a wife? We'll look into that also, and then I'll stop. Maybe you have something to contribute. The role of a husband is to protect, to provide, so rakshana, bharana, honor and appreciate, companionship, upliftment towards bhakti. And there are many examples in Srimad Bhagavatam. But what Bhagavatam teaches us about husband is responsibility, gentleness, protection, companionship, spiritual guiding, and the ultimate purpose, not control, not superiority, not domination. It's always coming from a place of service. And the core, so that's on one end. And then the core things that wife desires, according to Shastra and Bhagavatam, is emotional safety, mana gaurava, companionship, appreciation for her service, emotional intimacy, security and stability, affection and physical warmth. Prabhupada said, husband should hug his wife from time to time. That is proper. Shared spiritual life. Again, leadership without domination. Always point of. So Kardama is this example of servant leader. You can't lead unless you know that's done also as a service. Reliability and consistency. This is a good one. What wife desires is joy, playfulness, and sweetness. Okay, I hope you took notes. But all of that doesn't come prior to 10,000 years of tapasya, and also tapasya on Devahuti's side, where the senses are purified. And again, the purification of existence yields and always hones into this one pivotal point of seva. So the more we understand how service, that everything revolves around service, the more that will indicate the purification of existence. If that is not, and that itself is being purified. If that is not purified, that means your austerities are like pouring the ghee on the ashes. It's a waste of energy and time. So if anything needs to be purified, it's this desire to control and to enjoy, which is actually constitutes, according to Bhagavad Gita, this constitutes weakness of the heart. And man and woman, they can have that weakness of the heart. But once that's purified and heart becomes strong, anchored in Krishna seva, and it's spiritual world. It is what's being manifested here. And all these wonderful things of affection, pure affection, that's manifesting in both roles, husband and wife, are very pleasing and exemplary, pleasing to Krishna and exemplary to the rest of the world. But it's done with the right consciousness. Okay. Any comments, questions? Yes, bro.
Thank you. Can I tell a quick awesome story that illustrates all the points you just learned?
Yes, please.
Start from Advaita Acharya. Says there was a young devotee who just got into Grihastha life, and he wanted to turn his house into heavenly planet. So he went to his guru and said, Guru, how do I do that? And Guru said, why don't you come to my house in the evening? And Guru comes in the evening, and they sit down, and, Guru welcomes him, start nice talk, and the disciple says, Guru, do you want to give me a lesson how I can turn my house into heavenly planet? He says, oh, right. My dear wife, the wife comes in, he says, would you please bring a pot of clay? I said, okay, my husband. She brings clay, he says, now bring ghee. Okay. Now pour ghee into the clay. And in India back then, the ghee was very expensive. And without any reservation, she made it with ghee. He says, now make a dough. And make chapatis. It's not baked. She baked it. She brought it to them and said, now throw them away. Without nothing, she just threw them away. looked at his disciple and said, "Did you get it?" They're like, "Yes, Maharaj, I got it." So that night, the disciple went to his cottage and he called his wife. The wife was playing cards with her friends. "Today, wife, come here." She's like, "I'm playing later." Like, no, come here, it's important. She comes in and he says, "Bring me a pot of clay." She's like, "For this, you dropped my game?" He's like, "Okay, crazy man, I'll bring you a pot of clay." She brings him clay. "Is that it? Can I go play?" He's like, "No, not bring you." He lost his mind. "Okay, here's your ghee." Says, "Now pour ghee into the clay." And she lost her mind. So, "Over my dead body, this is not happening." He started yelling at her, "No, stop my wife, do that." They started fighting. Neighbors came, who solved such a loud screaming. Finally, Guru heard what's happening, and he knew what's going to happen. So he comes to the house, he calms everybody down. "Okay, I know what happened. Not even my fault." And he approached the disciple and he said, "You see, you should take care of your wife in such a way that she's fully protected. She has zero worries in the world. You should fulfill all of her desires before they even come to her head. And then you can turn your house into the heavenly land. Right now, you turn the house into hell. But the point is, you can expect it once you take care of it. It's such a good two examples you give.
Happy wife, happy life.
That's what my dad said. Going through the whole.
Anything else?
One question.
Narada, you'll get your answers over the records. Anything else? No? What do you think, Prabhuji? Yeah, what do you think about the roles of
Me?
Yeah, Arunji.
Yeah, as you said, it's exactly good. It's really hard to maintain what we learned today, but at the same time, both should follow the standards, like what you're saying. If one follows the standard, other person does not follow, it does not work out. So I think it's a fortunate the karma to get good wife and a good husband both together, which follows the standards what you're saying. But as we came to this world, if you have any problem, we need to surrender to the God and make our hearts pure compared to other people, like fight or to make fight purify or something. First purify yourself, then you talk to your wife. That's what I think.
Very good points. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yes. Yeah, both parties, they have to be committed. Committed to what? But more importantly, what Varun Ji just mentioned, both parties, they have to be committed to growth. Because we are not here to even please each other, per se. We're here to help each other grow. So if you have somebody who's committed to that, there will be growth, there will be abundance, there will be ways of attracting Krishna's mercy. But it's one is committed, the other one is not. It's always going to be a tag war, which, it's very frustrating. And ultimately, unless you agree to suffer peacefully for the rest of your life, it doesn't work. They have to be both committed to growth, which sometimes it will mean going through some painful things also, which are not auspicious or not good for ourselves in our life. Getting rid of stuff that are weighing on our journey back home, back to Godhead. It's a journey that we don't really necessarily pack for. It's the journey that we unpack for. Yeah. So we have to shed. It's called anartha-nivritti. We're not here to just be comfortable in a temporary world. We are here to develop these good qualities via medium of service to those who possess those good qualities. We're not trying to be great neither. That is not our aspiration. We simply aspire to serve those who are great. Then you will have a peace of mind. Otherwise. Okay, the ladles are here. I see one half a shafer. Is that going to be enough? Huh? Oh, it's coming. Jai. All right, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Rajganta Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.